It's on my table. Oh, maybe I should go home and get it done. And I'm going to go to the office next time. Are you coming to the office anytime this week? No. Okay, well, I'll maybe just leave it here. I can run home. Yeah. How was your bus ride home?
Okay, we're ready to begin our service. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Sharon, and I'll be your MC this morning. We'd like to welcome a visitor this morning, or Robert Frank. Is it Bales?
Yes.
The second?
I'm the second.
You're the second one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the second time.
Welcome to Makawao.
Thank you so much.
All right. If you have any questions, let us know. All right.
Okay. Thank you all.
All right. We'll begin the service by singing the Vandana Tisarana together, both in Pali and English.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami, dhammam saranam gacchami, sangham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance.
We will now chant the sutra, Jusei, the verses reaffirming the vow, which is in the red service book on page 55 or on the monitors in the temple hall.
a little bit. Your head's going to be in the camera shot.
Sorry. We folks were all in tune together. Anyway, sorry, Sensei.
Very good. That's harder than it looks.
Yeah. We have bumps on the road. A lot of bumps. Anyway, thank you. We'll now have quiet meditation.
So let's sit together for a few moments. So just relax and get comfortable. If you're able, sit forward in your seat and place both feet flat on the ground. Now, sit up straight. Align your head, neck, shoulders, and back in a straight line that goes down to the floor. Place your hands comfortably in your lap. Now close your eyes and just breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. In and out. Just breathe. As you breathe in, you'll feel energy filling your body. And as you breathe out, any stress or worries in your mind just fade away. The sound of the gong will signal the end of our quiet meditation.
Okay, everyone is welcome to offer incense at this time. The offering of incense, also known as oshoko in Japanese, is an ancient ritual of purifying mind and body, a gesture of respect and a physical expression of gratitude for the Buddha's teaching. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. We will now recite the Golden Chain of Love, Let us begin. I am a link in the Vita Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that what I do now depends not only on my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in this golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Buddhaya. Okay, so now we're having children's Dharma story time.
If I can remember why I put the buttons. I'm looking up at the podium and going, hey, the puppets aren't there. Okay, the rascal dog ran away. Just remind me to take them down again, because I have a memorial service in the afternoon. It's a little weird when we have all the friends up there. Yeah, it expanded from the garage sale. So the world famous Makawao Honganji garage sale, you can pick up friends, Dharma friends, and puppets. That's funny, there's no screen, huh? We lost one of the camera screens? Yes, like that one. Well, then push in GFX 3.
Oh, GFX 3.
Yeah, I don't know why that label doesn't change.
Sorry.
Okay, and then, yeah, when I tell the story, we'll just go to full screen. Okay. Live from Makawao, it's Children's Dharma Story Time, starring Barkley the Dog and Lucy the Ladybug with special guests. Green Snoopy, and Kermit the Gosho Frog, the English Lamb, and the Funky Monkey. Dharma kids, if you're out there, please help Sensei give these guys some names, okay? So, anyway, we'll work on it. Where are we? Okay. Deeha! Good morning. Aloha. Gaki Hiaka. Well, how's that? It's me, Barkley the Dog. How y'all doing this fine Sunday morning? I hope you're well and feeling fine. Well, for joining us here in historic Makawao town on the beautiful island of Maui in the great state of Hawaii. Good morning. Aloha kako. Aloha for everyone. I'm so happy to see all of you this morning. Barkley, let's put on our super cool magic glasses from Maui Optics and see who's with us here this morning. Well, that's a great idea, Lucy. Let's see you. I can see Kalena, Tyra, Centurion, Benji, Elena, Kava, Nakai, Emmy, Mac, Micah, Nolan, Cora, Lily, Noy, and Millie, Anna, Kenneth, and Lindsay, and Sierra, and Wesley, Maddie, Melody, Cadence, Uma, Nicole, and a whole bunch of Dharma buddies from around the world. Hoo-wee, mahalo for joining us. We have a great story for you. That's right, it's one of Sensei's favorite stories. It's The Wonky Donkey, music and words and music by Craig Smith, and illustrations by Kat Cowley. The Wonky Donkey, words and music by Craig Smith, illustrations by Kat Cowley. The book is dedicated for my mom and all the people who helped me over the years, friends, family, and mentors. Thank you. And that's from Craig Smith. And also to my precious mom, dad, and aunt, Ren. Your love, support, and inspiration fuels my creative journey and makes all of me smile and sing with big fat gratitude for keeping me tuned to the magic and humor of life. And that's from Kat Cowley. The Wonky Donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw!
had 3 legs. He was a wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs and 1 eye. He was a winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye, and he liked to listen to country music. Bee-haw! He was a honky-tonky winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! And he only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music, and he was quite tall and slim. He was a lanky honky-tonky winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim, and he smelt really, really bad. He was a stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. He smelt really, really bad. And that morning, he'd gotten up early and hadn't had any coffee. He was a cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. He smelled really, really bad. That morning he'd gotten up early and hadn't had any coffee. And he was always getting up to mischief. He was a hanky-panky, cranky, stinky-dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. He smelt really, really bad. That morning he'd gotten up early and hadn't had any coffee. He was always getting up to mischief. But he was quite good looking. He was a spunky, hanky-panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. The end. And that's the back cover. And actually, I was delighted to discover this is actually a music video. And here it is. It's supposed to be. There we go.
Hi, young post. My name's Craig Smith. I'm the author of Wonky Donkey. Yeehaw! I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. He only had 3 legs. He was a wonky donkey, wonky donkey, wonky donkey. Yeah. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. He only had 3 legs and 1 eye. He was a winky wonky donkey, winky wonky donkey, winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. He only had 3 legs and 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. Yeah. He was a honky tonky winky wonky donkey, honky tonky winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. He was a lanky honky tonky winky wonky donkey, lanky honky tonky winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. He only had 3 legs and 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim and he smelled really bad. Hoo-wee. He was a stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky donkey. Stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. He only had 3 legs and 1 eye. Liked to listen to country music. Quite tall and slim and he smelled really bad. He got up in the morning and he hadn't had any coffee. He was a cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky donkey. cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky, donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Only had 3 legs and 1 eye, like to listen to country music, quiet, tall and slim. He smelled really bad. He got up in one any coffee. He was always getting up to mischief. He was a hanky, panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky, donkey. Hanky, panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky, donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Only had 3 legs, 1 eye, like to listen to country music, quiet, tall and slim. He smelled really bad. He got up in one any coffee. He was always getting up to mischief, but he was quite good looking. Yeah. He was a spunky, hanky, panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky, donkey. Spunky, hanky, panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky, donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Yeehaw!
Hey, that guy sounds like me. Wasn't that a great story? What part did you like? Really? I love that part too. I love the hanky-panky, wonky-donkey who's always getting into mischief. Sounds like a rascal donkey, if you know what I mean, just like the rascal dog like me. Hey-ha-ha, what a rascal. You know, you can only be who you really are. How about you, Lucy? What part did you like? Well, mahalo for asking, Barkley. I loved how Wonky Donkey's best friend was the bird with no name, who was in every scene in the book. Isn't it nice to have friends who accept you just the way you are, and who love you because you are wonky? Dude, wait, you're right. The little bird was Wonky Donkey's best friend, even when the Wonky Donkey was the stinky Wonky Donkey. I hear the donkey farts are like Major Can Stinky. Hey, Sensei, I thought you weren't supposed to say words like fart. I didn't say anything. You did. Oh boys, come on, behave. Even the word fart makes me giggle. Hey, say kids, you want to have a fart contest? Okay. Now, Barkley, you're really going to get me in trouble now. So, boys, I think we better let Sensei get to the Dharma talk for adults. Well, that's a great idea, Lucy, because Sensei is always showing off when he's talks all philosophical. And you know, life is really simple. Life is about eating. Let's sneak over to the social hall and see what kind of refreshments we get. We go, yeah? Oh, Barkley, you had me at life is about eating. We go. Fade to black. And that's where everybody shouts out, Sensei, you forgot something. Sensei, you forgot something. So be good, but not too much. Okay. One of these days we'll get that right. Just to kind of explain why this story appealed to me. Early in my career, I spent a lot of time in New Zealand. And this particular author and singer is from New Zealand. And the word wonky was something I'd never heard before. So go to New Zealand, and I was working on the IBM account, and people said, I don't know, my ThinkPad is a little wonky. What does that mean, man? So anyway, you learned a lot of things. But today, I actually want to talk about what would you do with $1 billion? Because the excitement over the recent $1.28 billion winning lottery ticket, it's impossible to avoid if you watch the news or online media, whatever. And the media knows that people like to hear 2 kinds of stories about instant wealth, like overnight billionaire kind of stories. So this could be winning the lottery, it could be winning the jackpot in Las Vegas or whatever. But there's 2 kinds of stories. Happily ever after, right? Where the money didn't change that person, they shared their wealth, they did good things, and they're happy and content with life. The money didn't change them. But the media also likes the story of big bucks equals big tragedy, right? Where the money initially seemed like a good thing, but quickly became a nightmare with a tragic ending. So it's only human to think to yourself, if I had $1 billion and imagine that you'd be happy and free of worries and live a life of luxury and ease. And that's, of course, the promise of the lottery. Now, in the Hollywood movie version of my life, I'd like to think Yeah, I'm a happily ever after guy. But as a thought exercise, let's take a moment to really think about that literally. Quite literally, right? Well, what would you do with $1.28 billion? I know what everybody's thinking. You're saying, oh, the first thing I do with $1 billion is give $1 million to Makawao Honganji. That's good. It says pause for laughs right there. That's important. So there's many practical, answers to this thought exercise, of course. It's absolutely human to imagine ourselves in the best possible light. I'm a reasonable, prudent, well-educated person. If I had $1 billion, well, first I'd pay off all my debts. I'd set up 5 to 9 plans and trust funds for kids and grandkids before I spent the money. And then I start splurging on expensive luxuries. I'd buy a house or a bigger house, a new car or a big truck. Go to Las Vegas with $1 million bankroll and see what happens. Right? I've always wanted to just take $1 million and just blow it. And retire now, travel and see the world. Buy long-term care insurance. If I had $1 billion, that's probably a good investment. Prepay for a mortuary funeral plan. I'm a Buddhist minister, what do you want? And it's absolutely human to imagine ourselves, right, like in this best possible life, like Hollywood movie star kind of lighting. So then we do good deeds for the underprivileged and the disadvantaged. We solve the climate crisis. Right? We end violence. We achieve world peace. So that's, it's absolutely human to want to see ourselves in this way. The money didn't change me. The money wouldn't change me. The money would free me to be my true self. This is the way we want to think about it. But when I do this thought exercise for myself, right, what would I do with $1 billion? And if I'm honest with myself, the real me, right, the real, my ego comes out to play. I have $1 billion. I'm not telling anyone. The money is mine, mine. It's all about me. I'm not sharing my money with anyone. The money is mine. I'm not hiring financial advisors, lawyers, accountants, because you can't trust it. Everyone wants to steal your money. It's mine. So I'm pretty confident that if I won $1 billion, I'd be just as miserable as I am now. Why? Because I'd be more worried about losing the money. Or being seen as not investing wisely because I have an MBA. I'm supposed to know better. Or not being perceived as generous by giving to the right charities because I'm Buddhist. Or not supporting the right causes or whatever. And I'm pretty confident, right, that that's why I'd be creating more suffering for myself if I actually had $1 billion. So why is that? Oops, sorry, that's the joke slide. I forgot to put that in my script. Just to say, as a Shin Buddhist, here's a joke you can tell your friends. So the odds of me becoming Buddha are better than the odds of me winning $1.28 billion. Doctrinally, your birth in the Pure Land becoming Buddha is guaranteed, 100%. Whereas winning the lottery, I think it was about 350 million to 1 or something like that. It's not very likely you're going to win the lottery, but you will become Buddha. You're supposed to laugh at that, by the way. It was this one, yeah. So, the words of the Buddha. Even a rain of gold could not satisfy your desires, for the smallest taste of enjoyment leads to the suffering of more desire. A truly wise person understands this. So if we think about it, the American dream is based on a very simple principle of more. So work hard, get ahead of the other guys. Right? Work harder, get more ahead. Work the hardest, get ahead of everyone. But in reality, it's the extraordinarily wealthy, the capitalists in a capitalistic economy, the captains of industry, so CEOs and celebrities, and then the science, so that the children of extraordinarily wealthy people, who are telling people below them to work hard, work harder, work hardest. You can achieve the American dream. So that you work really hard to make profit for the corporation, which benefits investors, which happens to be extraordinarily wealthy people. And so when you reflect on this calmly, you can see the reason why we have $1 billion lottery is because the winning ticket is $1 billion. It's because the lottery business is a multi-billion-dollar industry. I mean, there's a huge amount of money that people are paying for this dream. It's the money is in theory used for educational purposes and good stuff. But again, remember, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. So when we take a moment to reflect, we can see that it's our self-centered human nature, our tendency to see the world as it's about me. And it's this self-centeredness, this egocentricity, that leads us to, inevitably, to dissatisfaction and discontent and suffering, just as the Buddha taught 2,500 years ago. So the Buddha taught the elimination of desire, the elimination of craving is nirvana, the extinguishing of the flames of craving. And that this will, the elimination of desire, leads to the elimination of suffering. Western human happiness, though, is a little bit different, because we typically use Schopenhauer's insight. Our happiness is the balance of what we have, what I have, relative to what I want. What I want relative to what I have is the relative measure of happiness. So the Buddha taught, right, elimination of desire, leads to the elimination of suffering. And this is called nirvana. The Buddha didn't say elimination of desire is going to make you happy. It just says it's going to eliminate suffering. So the path to get there is the path of discipline. You renounce this world, you shave your head, you give up everything, you become a monk, you study, practice, chant, until you become Buddha in this life, in this body, with this mind. So the monastic life, with its many precepts and rules, is designed to reduce what I have to the absolute minimum. Did you know that monks are allowed to have only three things? Three things. One, a razor, so you can shave your head. Two, 3 pieces of cloth that you wear as robes. And 3, a begging bowl, which, generally speaking, looks like this. Those are the only 3 possessions you're allowed to have. That's it. You have to give up everything else. So, eliminate what I have to the absolute minimum. You reduce, by using Schopenhauer's model, right, that this would lower the denominator, making us more relatively happy. Okay. So, a Buddhist monk is going to aspire to eliminating desire, eliminating what I want, and minimizing possessions, right? So reducing what I have to the absolute minimum. So by making craving 0, what I want is 0, possessions that I have is the absolute minimum. That this is the elimination of suffering. But by the American standard, is this going to be happiness? And this is the conflict. This is the fundamental challenge of being a Buddhist, living a Buddhist lifestyle, or adopting Buddhist values, attitudes, and lifestyles, while being successful in the pursuit of the American dream. So the question then becomes, how do we find balance between our secular and spiritual lives? Is there a way to live Buddhist values and attitudes and lifestyles and be successful in American society? Is happiness the absence of suffering? Or is my happiness relative to other people? Is happiness finding the middle way, creating balance between what I want and what I have? Or should we all just run away from the mountains and shave our heads to become monks? Jodo Shinshu, the Honganji tradition, is taught by Shinran Shonin, teaches we don't have to become monks. In fact, Shinran says, the Nembutsu, Namwa Midabutsu, forces us to confront the reality that my human nature is such, I don't have the discipline to become a monk. There's no way I could do that. I'd like to think I could, but I can't, so that's not going to happen. So the path of Nembutsu, mindfulness of Amida Buddha, is for ordinary, utterly human beings who are limited by their bodies and mind, which probably accounts for 99.9% of us. People who are married, people who have jobs, have to pay the rent, pay the mortgage, car loans, and you have kids. Or you're people who are caregiving for aging parents and family and friends. People who are struggling with human relationships at work and at home. People who, despite knowing the truth, give in to their egocentricity and make the wrong decisions all the time. And that's me. People who are karma's fools. So ordinary people who have encountered the truth of the Buddha's teachings, who have encountered the Dharma. But the causes and conditions of this unrepeatable life make it impossible to become a monk, to follow the path of discipline. So people like me. And this is where Jodo Shinshu, the Nembutsu practice, comes into play. You don't have to be a monk. You don't have to be wealthy. You don't have to be powerful. You don't have to be well educated. We put our hands together in Gasho. We bow our heads. We say Namo Amida Butsu. We take refuge in all-inclusive wisdom and all-embracing compassion of Amida and the great enlightenment to come. And this is an expression of gratitude for this unrepeatable life. So to make it even more simple, you remember Anne Wollner's quote, our practice, as Hongganji Buddhist, our practice is eating. So the path of Nembutsu, this mindfulness of Amida, is the path of everyday life. It is filled with joys and sorrows and ups and downs, dreams and reality. So the assurance of going forth in the pure mind is gratefully received during this unrepeatable life, not because of anything that I do, although my ego would like to think so, but it's through the working of Amida's compassion in each of our lives. So it's the struggle of everyday life. So you're juggling responsibilities and expectations. You've got careers, you've got parenting, caregiving. You're dealing with the truth of human existence. You're born. Your body ages. It starts decaying, it gets sick, and eventually you reach the end of life. And this is the path of becoming truly aware of the subject. It's the practice of mindfulness of Amida Buddha. It's in the everyday struggles of an unrepeatable life that we discover Amida's great compassion is working in my life, in our lives, in countless and inconceivable ways. And so we are brought to the mind of no doubt, the absolute conviction that our going forth to the pure mind, to birth in the pure mind, is already assured. We simply put our hands together, Gassho, we bow our heads, say Namo Buddha, entrusting in wisdom and compassion, working in this unrepeatable love. So, when you win the next Mega Millions lottery, you're going to remember this Dharma talk, and you're going to donate $1 million to Makawao Hongganji. Yes, you're supposed to just say yes at that time. And at that point, the temple says, mahalo. I just say mahalo. So mahalo for listening this morning, and may your day be filled with aloha.
Thank you, Reverend Carey. And we will now chant the Metta Sutta, the Loving Kindness Sutra, together in unison with Reverend Carey.
May all beings be happy and well. May all difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May I be happy and well. May all difficulties come to me. May I live in peace and harmony. May my family be happy and well. May all difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my friends be happy and well. May all difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my teachers be happy and well. May all difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May strangers be happy and well. May all difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my enemies be happy and well. May all difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May all things be happy and well. May all difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony.
Reverend Carey will now lead us in the gratitude meditation.
So let's sit together quietly again for a few moments. And just relax and get comfortable. If you're able, sit forward in your seat and place both feet flat on the ground. Then sit up straight, align your head, neck, shoulders, and back in a straight line that goes down to the floor. Place your hands comfortably in your lap. Now close your eyes halfway so that you're looking both inwardly and outwardly. And just breathe. Breathe in. And breathe out. As you breathe in, think of something for which you are grateful. And as you breathe out, just say Makawao. Just say thank you, thank you, thank you. Just breathe. The sound of the gong will signal the end of our quiet meditation.
We'll now rise for the singing of the hymn Ondoku-san. The words are found on the screen. Please remain standing for the singing of the Nembutsu. Alright, please be seated. Once again, thank you for joining our Dharma family service today. Announcements. I have one as a Obon chairperson. I'd like to thank all the volunteers and all the committee people who made it a very successful one, wasn't it? Yes. A tiring one. And I'd like to thank our guests this morning. I hope to see you next week too.
Of course.
Okay. All right, announcements. I just want to apologize for the glitches during Jusei Game this morning. Please come back next week. Maybe I can do better. Thank you.
That's okay. It's going to convince everyone. I think I'll just grab a red book when I come in.
Yeah.
But just to say, the service is in here somewhere. Colin Garings is open every day. So next Sunday is the first Sunday family service, and then we'll be having services on the following Sundays, so normal services. I just wanted to mention that our granddaughter Melody is coming. She's 10. The last time she was here, she was 6. And she insisted upon coming up here to lead the chanting, so don't be surprised if our granddaughter doesn't. Or maybe she's going to be the grandboss. So we'll see how it goes. But we will have the first Sunday, so hopefully we'll have flag raising with the Scouts and Cub Scouts. Month of Memorial's birthdays. If it's your birthday in August, please tell me, because apparently my database is because I got last month's with and hopefully, normally we would not have Dharma school during August because it's summer break. But I'll try to do some kind of intergenerational thing here in the home. So hopefully I'll figure something out. But anyway, that's next Sunday. Otherwise, everyone's welcome to refreshments and talk stories and social.